Hi everyone. Sorry for the long time because I had planned when I started this channel that I would upload a video after every fifth or sixth day. But in this week it took me more time than that because I was grappled with some other things. Yes, I know there are some videos which are pending, like a view from the bridges of part seconds analysis. I was also planning about the feminism, but I have come across a very beautiful poem which I felt that I should make a video on. That is Arun Kolotkar's Yashwant Rao. So today we are going to discuss the poem Yashwant Rao by Arun Kolotkar. Now Arun Kolotkar, he is a very famous bilingual Indian poet. He wrote in Marathi and English language. So, and why he is considered as a very prominent is that he is considered as a very keen observer of rustic India and especially rustic Maharashtra. So he knew or he had what we call as the lived experiences, the first hand experiences of the things he mentions in his poetry. He has observed all those things, he has lived all those things. Therefore, he is also considered as, because he was a painter, so he had that knack of observing everything very minutely. So, today, this is a very beautiful poem of Arun Kolotkar. You should read it. The name of the poem is Yashwant Rao. So, Arun Kolotkar, he has influenced many post-independent Indian writers such as Nizam Ezekiel, again the famous one Salman Rushdie. They were influenced by Arun Kolotkar's writing, and they also interpreted India from their own point of view. So here Arun Kolotkar, he was the first. So his very famous and iconic collection of poems, that is Jejuri, which has also been awarded. He has won several awards for this poetic collection. But here, this Yashwant Rao poem, it was published in the collection of poems, that is Jejuri. And what is Jejuri? Jejuri is a holy place in western Maharashtra and a kind of a family god of every Maharashtrians or the people who live on the borders of Karnataka. So here the tradition in Maharashtra is that everyone, means among the Hindu population, that everyone after a marriage, means a couple after a marriage, their first destination should be Jejuri. Now, which god is at the Jejuri? Jejuri, there you will find a god of Khandoba, a reincarnation of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has incarnated as Khandoba. So Khandoba is worshipped in Jejuri, and it is also considered as a family deity of many Maharashtrians. Therefore, it has a cultural significance in Maharashtra. And Jejuri, if you find the Jejuri and the nearest vicinity of the Jejuri, you will realize that there is no such a thing as industrialization. Even today, means this poem he had written around in 1970s. So at that time India was developing. India wasn't a developed country at that time. So still his poem is very valid today. Why in even 2020 Zezuri is not that developed or modern. You'd find that nothing had changed in the Zezuri. Even in the 1970s, when Arun Kolotkar he might have observed, and even in today, there could be a minute change, but not a very vast level. So the poem speaks about the problems of people who live in that city or small town of holy area. Means, for instance, your Makkah and Medina. These are the holy cities. Again, Varanasi. Again, Jerusalem. So here, what people think that okay, a thought crosses our mind that okay, people who are living in this area, means in these holy cities, they must be so lucky. Means they are so lucky because they get to see these gods every day. But here he had tried to draw our attention to the a very distinct and separate problems of the native people. So as of course in every holy cities there you would find so many gods, so many small temples. Why? Because in the holy cities people they have no job. So his yet another poem he had mentioned that people of Zezuri, because of their barren land, because of lack of industrialization, they have grown a god, and this crop of god yielding them a bumper yield, lots of money. So because people from across the world, across the Maharashtra, they go at the Zezuri. Now Yashwant Rao is a poem in a dramatic monologue. There is a traveler. Also there was a traveler in his another poem, An Old Woman. Here is also a traveler. What here in this poetic collection Arun Kolotkar has tried, he tried to show the plights of the native people. How native people or how the natives of the Zezuri they live in such a holy place, their problems and their compulsions, because they had no option but to sail the god. Because here in this poem also the speaker he is marketing a god as a salesman. He is advertising the god Yashwant Rao. So a traveler he was passing by, he had prayed at the main god of Zezuri, that is Khandoba, Lord Khandoba, and now he was going back, probably going back to his home. A man he was sitting at a small temple and he attracts his attention. He calls him, and this is a kind of a dramatic monologue where the traveler is there but he is not interfering, and the speaker here he is informing him about the qualities of Yashwant Rao, the special qualities of Yashwant Rao you would find in the Varanasi, in the Haridwar, in Jejuri, in all other the holy places in India. So the poem commences thus with a question: are you looking for a god? I know a good one. His name is Yashwant Rao and he is one of the best. Look him up when you are in Jejuri next. Now here the speaker of the poem he knows that now the traveler or a devotee he is going back home, and now his desire has been fulfilled, that he wanted to worship Khandoba and he done it. So now his job is done and he was going home. Therefore, knowing very well that he wasn't in such a mood, because Khandoba in Jejuri is the prime god, principal god at there, and everyone goes in the Jejuri to worship Khandoba. And Yashwantrao is a kind of a lower rank god. So what he says here, are you looking for a god? I know a good one. His name is Yashwantrao. What he says that, are you looking for a god? I know a better one. And his name is Yashwantrao. And he is one of the best. He is one of the best local gods besides Lord Khandoba. Besides the Khandoba. Just looking up when you would come here next time. Your next visit, you should go to Yashwantrao and you should pray to him as well, because he is also the best one. Not as best as Khandoba, but also a best one. Of course, he is only a second class god, and his place is just outside the main temple, outside even of the outer wall. And if he belonged among the tradesmen and the lepers. What here he says that, okay, Yashwantrao, he is a second class god. See, of course, he is only a second class god, and his place is just outside the main temple. So, Yashwantrao is a second class god to the god, main god or principal god of Jejuri, that is Khandoba. And his place is outside the temple. Means here he is implying towards the caste discrimination that exists in Indian society, and also how every caste in India has their own god. Therefore there are so many gods in India. Therefore he says that Yashwantrao is also god, and he is also the best one. But of course he is a second class god as compared to main god or principal god Khandoba, and his place is outside the main temple of Jejuri, main temple of Khandoba. So you next time, your next visit, you should pay or worship Yashwantrao also. Outside even the outer wall, means even the wall of the temple, he is outside of that. And he is a god of tradesmen and other lower class people. I have known gods prettier faced and straighter laced, God who soak you with your gold, gods who soak you with your soul, gods who make you walk on a bed of burning coal. Here he says that because he lives in a holy city, therefore he knows so many gods. Gods of gold, God for soul, and even some gods who compel you to walk on the burning coal, the bed of the burning coal. Why? Because people undergo so many hardship to prove the God that okay, we are your loyal worshipper and you should grant my wishes. Why? Because I am going through the hardship. This is my devotion for you. Therefore he says that there are gods who demands gold, there are God who demands meditation, there are gods, means he has seen the gods who demands the hardship. Means some people walk towards the temple from their home, some people sacrifice an animal. So he is informing that there are so many gods who demands from so many things from their devotees. Gods who put a child inside your wife or a knife inside your enemy. He says there are gods, if you worship them, you could have a baby, or that God could kill your enemy. Gods who tell you how to live your life, double your money or triple your land holding. Gods who can barely suppress a smile as you crawl a mile for them. Here he says that there are so many gods in India, and he has seen so many gods that who can double your money, who can increase your business, who can smile at you handsomely, and again who compels you to walk for him for a miles or crawl towards him for a miles. God who see you drown if you won't buy them a new crown. What here says that there are gods, if you do not fulfill their wishes, their desires, then they punish you. If you won't buy them a new crown. And although I am sure they are all to be praised, they are either too symmetrical or too theatrical for my taste. What here says that okay, there are so many gods who would grant your desires, your wishes, but I don't approve those gods. Why? Because here he is advertising the god Yashwantrao, because that was his bread and butter. So he here has dedicated his life to the worshipping of Yashwantrao. And then after comparing all other gods, then what here is saying, Yashwantrao, mass of basalt, bright as any post box, the shape of protoslam, and a king-size lava pie, thrown against the wall without an arm, a leg, or even a single head. What here says that Yashwantrao is just like a stone, painted in a saffron color, that to a wall, a small stone at the wall. And here says this is the god Yashwantrao. He has no head, he has no hands, he has no legs. But this is the best and powerful god you will find after Khandoba in Jejuri. Yashwantrao, he is the god you have got to meet. See, he is branding Yashwantrao. If you are short of limb, Yashwantrao will lend you a hand and get you back on your feet. What he says that Yashwantrao is the god you should look for. It is a kind of an advertisement of Yashwantrao, that if you do not have a limb, you should go to Yashwantrao and he will fulfill your desire. He will fulfill your wish. Yashwantrao does nothing spectacular. He doesn't promise you the earth or book your seat on the next rocket to the heaven. What he says, he said that he is being very realistic here about the Yashwantrao, that Yashwantrao, he is a very realistic god. He doesn't promise you earth, he doesn't promise you any extra superior thing or supernatural thing. No, he is a very realistic god, and because he is a god of a poor, he knows the needs of the poor. Therefore he says that he doesn't promises you seat in the next rocket to the heaven. No, there is no such a thing. But if any bones are broken, he will mend them. What he says that if you have a broken bones, then Yashwantrao is the god for you. He will make you whole in your body and hope your spirit will look after itself. He is merely a kind of a bone setter. The only thing is, as himself has no heads, hands and feet, he happens to understand you a little better. So Yashwantrao is a kind of a doctor of bones. So he doesn't promise you about heaven. He doesn't promise you about doubling your money. He doesn't promise you about giving you a baby or killing your enemy, or he doesn't demand from you that gold, that sacrifice, that hardship, that you must go a physical hardship. No, he is a very simple god. He is a god of bones. He will fulfill your desire. What if you have a broken leg, if you have a broken arm, then Yashwantrao is a god for you. See what here he is doing. He is actually doing the marketing of Yashwantrao. But how? He knows very well that the current traveler devotee, he is not in a mood, because he has come from, or he has finished his worshipping of Lord Khanderao or Khandoba, and now he is in a mood of going back to his home. But here, informing about Yashwantrao, the speaker, he knows that this traveler, this devotee, he would definitely inform other people that okay, if you have a broken leg, if you have a broken arm, then you must go to Jejuri and there you should worship Yashwantrao because he is a god, a special god for the bones, special god for the limbs, hands and feet, arms. He would repair, or he could repair your broken leg or broken arm. So here a kind of a marketing of Yashwantrao, a very beautiful poem of Arun Kolotkar. First read the poem on the online, it is available online, then you would understand it. The poem is written in a very lucid language. And if you have liked my presentation, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.